everyone. Welcome to another episode of Cheffin with Sherry. Today I'll be sharing a recipe that I've been making for many years. It's a perfect recipe for the holidays, as well as a perfect treat for you to share with your friends and family. If you read the title, you'll see that I'm making my crack cookie recipe. This recipe gets its name from the way we break up the cookie at the end, and also because they can be very addicting. Let's begin by looking at all of the ingredients you'll need to make crack cookies yourself at home. Okay, so here we have the ingredients for our crack cookies. We have about 1.5 cups of chocolate chips. You can use any kind of chocolate chips. These happen to be semi-sweet because that's what I had on hand, but you can also use milk chocolate, white chocolate, or any chocolate chip of your choice. 1 cup of white sugar. 1 8-ounce bag of toffee chips. These are Heath toffee chips. You can find them in the section in your grocery store where you find your chocolate chips. 2 sticks of unsalted butter. 2 sleeves of graham crackers. Again, you can use any kind of graham cracker you like. These are original graham cracker. And this is about 2 teaspoons of pink Himalayan sea salt. You can use any coarse salt. Kosher salt. This is just to sprinkle on top when they're done. Okay, let's put together our crack cookies. Here I have a baking sheet, just a regular cookie sheet. Any size will work depending on the amount of cookies you want to make. I cover it with aluminum foil so that nothing sticks to the pan and it's easy cleanup. I also have my oven preheated to 350 degrees. So first thing, I'm going to line the cookie sheet with graham crackers, the flat side down. If they're broken up, that's okay. You can just fit them in. This is a recipe that doesn't have to be perfect because they're going to be broken up into different shapes when they're done. So I'll just continue to line the pan with the graham crackers, just like such. After you have your cookie sheet covered with your graham cracker, just like this, you're going to sprinkle on your toffee chips. Just cover the graham crackers in toffee chips. Okay, just about right. You want to make sure every cracker has at least a little piece of toffee on it so you get that delicious bite with each cookie. And we're almost there. Get the edges too. Okay, so now that we have the toffee chips sprinkled on top of the graham crackers, we're going to start our sauce that's going to go on top of the toffee chips. We're going to put our pan, we're going to set it to medium-high. We're going to add the 2 sticks of butter and melt that. Just let that melt down. Once that melts down, we'll add the sugar. Okay, our butter is melted. We're going to add our 1 cup of sugar to that right in the middle of the pan. We're not going to stir this much. We're going to give it a very gentle stir. Once the sugar and butter mixture comes up to a nice bubble, we're going to turn it down to simmer for exactly 2 minutes. Just kind of moving it around a little bit and not really stirring it heavily. So we'll wait for it to come up to a bubble. And then we'll set our timer to 2 minutes and it'll be ready to go. Okay, now that our sugar and butter mixture has come up to a good bubble, I'm going to turn it down to a simmer. And I'm going to set my timer for 2 minutes. And I am going to cook this for exactly 2 minutes. I'm just going to leave it alone and let it bubble and do its work. It's going to make like a slight soft candy, and it's going to go on top of the toffee chips. And when it cooks in the oven, it's going to be nice and golden brown and crispy and yummy. Okay, now that our sugar and butter mixture has been simmering for 2 minutes, we're going to pour it over our graham crackers that are covered in the toffee chips. You're going to be very careful. This mixture is very hot, and you don't want to burn yourself. It doesn't have to be even. We're just going to kind of pour it over. It smells so good. We're going to pour it over the toffee chips. Cover as much as possible, but again, like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. There are going to be some empty spots on your cookies. And try to scrape out as much of this goodness as I can. And that's it. Now they're going to go into the oven for 12 to 15 minutes until they're golden brown. Okay, our cookies have been in the oven about 13 minutes. They are nice and golden brown. I'm going to take them out now. Okay, so now that we've taken our cookies out of the oven, you can see that they're golden brown. It looks just delicious. So right away, while they're hot, you want to add your chocolate chips. Again, this is about a cup to a cup and a half of semi-sweet chocolate chips. You're not going to put too many. You're not going to overdo it. You're just going to sporadically pour them around. There we go. That's looking delicious. Now, the more or less you like is fine, whatever you prefer. So now I'm going to add the pink Himalayan sea salt, and I'm just going to sprinkle this on top. And this is going to give it that umami that it needs, the sweet, salty, buttery cookie. These are going to be so good. And that's about it. And there we have our completed crack cookie. One more thing I want to do, I want to make sure that the chocolate settles well into the cookie. So I'm going to give it a slight tap on top of the stove. And this I'm going to put in the freezer to cool it for about 10 minutes after it sits for a few minutes. Sometimes I put them on my porch. I live in New England. It's cold. It's in the fall heading towards winter. So I sometimes put them on my closed-in porch so that they can sit out there and get cool. You can also cool them at room temperature, but it does take longer. Okay, so now the crack cookies have cooled and they've settled. And this is how they look. They look delicious. Now I'm going to show you why they're called crack cookies. So I cut them with a cookie cutter, and as you cut them, they're going to break up as well and go into whatever shape they will. You have to put a little bit of muscle into it. I just go down, I cut it into 4 or 5 long strips, just like such. And then across as well. Anyway, like I said, they're not going to be perfect shapes. They're going to actually crack and go into whatever shape they want. And I will take them out and I will show you how they look on the plate. Okay, so here we have our completed crack cookies. I've cut them up and I put them on the platter. You can see how many they make. They make a big batch. I'm going to show you up close what they look like. They are just gorgeous. So now I'm going to taste one. But I want to show you first just how buttery and crispy the bottom is. Delicious toffee got through the whole cookie. And now I'm going to taste it. Delicious.